Hello everybody and welcome back to Survive With Me, episode 7. Got the episode number wrong last time. I didn't realise I'd done quite so many of these just yet. Last episode we built the rover hangar bay, and in between episodes I've been putting the hours in, guys. I've been putting the graft in. As you can see, I've gone and mapped every single ore deposit within a 5 kilometre radius of us, just so I know what's out there. Unfortunately, I didn't find any gold. I've got silver though, so we now have the new tools, and I couldn't get gold for the yield modules, so I've just fully stacked everything with speed modules, so everything's just super quick, which will do for now. So this episode we're going to focus on creating a drill rig. Now this is something that's going to basically mine out ore, stone or ice for us passively, using a rotor piston setup. You may have seen a few of these. They're very, very handy for survival, so I'm going to show you how to make them so that you can, I guess, make your own decision on whether or not you want to build them in your own world. The reason I'm building one is because I do actually have some sources of ice which are pretty close. As you can see here, if I turn these on, I actually found 5 ice deposits. So one's 2.5 kilometers away. There's one 1.4 kilometers away over there, but we do have a massive ice lake over that way, bit of fog coming in, a massive ice lake just over there, which is going to be much more useful to mine ice from. And if we can put a drill rig on the ice lake, it will continue mining ice for us while we're not there, and then we're going to do like a drone setup which will bring ice from the drill rig back to the base for us to convert into hydrogen, and that's going to fuel our ships. I don't know if this is fog or if this is lightning or what's going on. Something's happening here. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I'm just going to remove the weather because you guys have to look at it. Okay, so to build a drill rig, you're going to need a few different things. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to mine ore which is below the surface, you're going to need more pistons to push the drill further down. But for our purposes, initially we need a large cargo container, 2 pistons, an advanced rotor, battery, 2 wind turbines, a connector. We also need a few more things, but I'm just going to load these into the rover for now, or as much as I can load into the rover, so that we can take it over to the ice base. Quite impressed with how much this thing's tucking away. You can see it start to lean back with the suspension there. Wow. It's actually everything. Okay, we've actually got some storage space in the cockpit itself as well, which we've not conveyed up. So I'll stick a few more things in there. And then other than that, I'm going to take another connector, so we're going to have 2 connectors on this thing. That's a small grid connector. I'm going to take some conveyor pipes, so we're going to need a curved and then another curved. I'm just trying to think about the layout in my head here. We need 3 curved, and then we need 4 straight conveyor tubes as well. Put them into production. So we are absolutely loaded. The cab cockpit can carry a surprising amount, actually. I'm just going to wait for all these to get created. Right, so that's as much as we can carry for now. My inventory is also full. You could probably just stick a couple more medium cargo containers on this as well, but I'm not really that fussed about doing multiple runs. Just check the wheel suspension here. We might want to firm it up a little bit. Not too much though. I did have a little bump. I've welded up the front of the rover, but we still are missing a spotlight. I was coming down a hill, and then sometimes the ground gets very choppy near the edge of cliffs. You definitely will have seen it if you've played any amount of survival, but it will probably crop up at some point as we make our way over to the ice lake. So I'll show you what it looks like once I do come across it. I did increase the wheel speed a little bit as well because I was razzing around. I did flip the rover, but luckily the damage wasn't too bad as well. Yes, we got some iron here. So yeah, I'm just gonna poodle over to the ice lake. If I catch some of that weird landscape, I'll show you but it's normally on the side of cliffs and hills. And you've got to be careful because you can't always see it when you scroll out. In fact, there might be some here. Yeah. You see it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You see these jagged edges? They don't really appear until the last second. I need to increase the power to the wheels as well because we're fat. Let me just get out of this rough spot here. But you can see how it literally sneaks up on you. It comes out of nowhere. So, yeah, look at that. So be very, very careful because if you drive over this, unless you've got like 5x5 wheels, you won't have a fun time. And as you can see, it is riddled. Like this cliff face is absolutely riddled with it. I mean, there's more over here as well. So you've got to be really, really careful. It might even be worth like making a note of where this is with the marker when you're driving, so that you don't drive into it. If you do drive into it, you can jump out with the crouch button, like I showed you last time. Hold it down and release to jump. But yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a tricky situation to be in. We're about to be in a pretty tricky situation as well, actually. I can't go that way. It's not possible. I'm gonna have to go around the mountain. At least I know for next time, though. Should have really mapped it out with the mining ship. So you got more of that terrain here. It can also be an idea to just make like a cargo shuttle, which will obviously take a bit of time, but it'll also save you a bit of transportation time. I'm not going to bother for now. I'm only going to need to do 2 runs with the rover, so I'm not really too fussed. Plus, to be honest with you, I quite enjoy driving. I find it quite fun. So I'm just going to nip over to the ice lake, but if you guys want to build like a sort of a cargo shuttle, you've got the facilities to do that now. And it will save you some time if an ice lake is particularly far away. I think if it was me and I didn't really need to do the tutorial series, I'd just use the ice deposit ore patches that I found around the base. That's 1.4 kilometers away, and just use the mining ship to get ice. I'm just showing you this because it's a good application of a drill rig, and if you are like right next to an ice lake or something, then you literally might as well use a rover and do what I'm about to do as well. So here's the ice lake. You will actually have reduced traction on ice, so do keep that in mind. You can see some ore deposits there, those black splotches, and then once again we're just going to be a little bit cautious coming down the side of this hill here. Try and look for areas which aren't too steep because they're usually quote unquote safe. And here we are. The ore detector is picking up ice, which is always a good thing. Right, so let's pop out and let's have a little look at what we've got here. So massive ice lake, as you can see. If you empty one of these in a survival world, then fair play to you. But we're definitely not going to be emptying this this run. So we're going to put a large cargo container down first. So it doesn't really matter where you put it. All that you need to know is that the conveyors need to be ideally, well actually no, they definitely need to be above the ice. So you want it roughly, see where it's got that little bevel that goes inwards there, just above it like that. Because we're going to attach a piston that needs to be able to push out, and I'm just going to put it over here. So we've got this large cargo container which can actually store components for us, so we can go and do a component run. And we're going to build it facing out this way. So once you've got the large cargo container down, we're then going to place a piston facing outwards. Let me just get some steel plates if I've got any. I'm going to place a piston facing outwards like this, and then we're going to get a curved conveyor tube facing upwards. We're going to do an advanced rotor. So an advanced rotor will allow components to pass through it, which is what we want. And then we're going to do some regular conveyor tubes. We're going to do 3, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a curved conveyor tube, straight, curved, and then we're going to do another piston facing down. Just to show you how this works. You don't have to copy me, by the way. I mean, you can sort of lay this out however you want. But this is a pretty simple one which I use, and it works quite well for what we need it to do. So basically, this piston will push this setup outwards. You can attach another piston if you want to have a piston and another one afterwards, and you'll just get more range. And then this piston will push the drill down into the ice, so we'll have a drill here, and then this rotor will allow this arm up here to swing back and forth, and we'll set it to 180 degrees, so it will come this way, and then the drill will go down a bit further, this way again, down a bit further, this way, and then once the drill's gone all the way down, we'll lift the drill up, we'll move the whole rig forward, and then we'll repeat. So either side, move the drill further down, either side, and go like that, and like in a sweeping motion forwards until we've cleared the ice. If you're going to be planning on using a lot of ice, you might want to make this a bit bigger. You can do so by just having more pistons, so push them further out. Instead of having one piston, you could have a cluster of, instead of having one drill, you could have a cluster of drills, but you can also put like a piston up there, and that'll push the arm out even further. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this, and loads of people have built different drill rigs. This is just a simple one which will work well for the purposes which we need it to do. We're also going to need to power this thing, so I'm going to be powering this with wind turbines. So I'm going to put a couple of steel blocks outwards here, and then put some wind turbines down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put the wind turbine at the top. I'm not going interior plates. Also, I did give in to peer pressure. I've got a new keyboard coming, and it's quiet. So soon your ears will be assaulted no more by the sound of my keyboard clacking. Some people like it, some people don't, but I think people who like it can probably live without it. So in order to try and make it as easy to watch for as many people as possible, I'm just going to get rid of it. Well, I'm not going to get rid of it. Bloody hell, it was expensive. I'm just going to use it for my own use, and I won't record with it. Put the battery there for now. I'm going to get this welded up. Because then we can store the components inside it. And we can go back and get some more as well. There we go. Weld up this piston as well. Might as well just weld up all we can while we're here. I don't know if we brought the components for a wind turbine. I think I did. Yeah, I did. So we'll get it powered. And this is the beauty of having a cargo rover. You can basically bring like a little mobile base with you. Right, so that's powered now. You don't actually need the battery, to be honest with you, but I'm just going to put the battery on anyway, in case we want to recharge ships that we dock here. It's a useful thing to have. Did I bring the components for the battery? Maybe. I think I did. Get that welded up. Now this will be charging. 6 hours. Okay, not bad. And then I'm actually just going to quickly dump all of this stuff in here. You can see the rover starting to lean forward because all the components are in the cockpit. There we go. It's leveled back out now. Have we got anything else left in this? A few bits. Okay, we'll get the rotor built. And then we'll get the other piston built as well. See if I can stand. Oh! Lovely. Save some fuel. Even though we're stood on a lake of ice. Pop the connector there. We'll have another one on the top as well. Maybe I didn't bring all the stuff for that actually, because I should have everything I need. Let's see if I brought those components. Yeah, okay. You'd actually need the large steel tubes to get these fully built, which is useful. There you go. So we just need that. That's all sorted. And then we're going to need a drill as well. So we're going to use a large grid drill. You can actually attach a rotor. If you place a rotor like this, grind away the head, then go into the control panel and add a small rotor head. It'll add a small grid rotor head, and then you can add small grid drills instead of a large grid one. They're much cheaper, but for now I'm just going to go with the large grid drill because they can harvest more quickly. I don't really know what else I was going to put on this. I had like a plan, but I think I was going to build another connector here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have the stuff for it, so that was for another wind turbine. But I'm only going to do the one wind turbine now. Cool, and then we've got everything we need down here. Everything that we need to come and build. Just trying to think if there's anything else we're going to want on this. We're going to want a button panel on this somewhere. And then other than that, we're just going to bring a load of steel plates so that we can build up the foundations around this thing. We could put a survival kit on it, but I'm not really too fussed for now. I'll have a little think as I'm driving along what we want to put on it. I'm probably just going to write down on a pen and pad what I want. Yeah, so I'm going to nip back to the base, grab some more components, and pop back shortly. Alright, so we're back, and I should have everything I need to get this finished, and then I'll show you how to set it up so we can get this thing running, and then we'll eventually look at getting some cargo drones over here to take the ice back to the base for us. So we've got the drill done. Need those steel plates. Small steel tubes, sorry. There we go. Get this built. Alright, cool. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Okay, that's everything we need. I also brought some various steel plates, interior plates, and construction components, just so that we can make a bit of a way up to the top for us here. I think I'll build the landing platform first, actually. So I was going to put a landing pad up here. So this is where the drones will be able to land. Don't want to use up all my hydrogen here, so try and do this quickly. I could probably stand up on it now. There we go. Just the question of how we get up here. That is quite the distance. And we could just have a half one here. If I can find it. There we go. There we go, we've got a nice little ladder system now. We can get up and down. With. And then we're going to put a button panel up top. And I'm just going to get this welded up. And this is going to allow us to basically control the drills and the rotors. Now, there's different ways you can do this. You can be clever and use timer blocks and event controllers, or you can do it manually. I'm going to do a bit of both. So on this, what we're going to do is, this is going to be piston horizontal, and then this is piston vertical. If you've got a bit more of a complicated setup, I'd potentially put the names in as you're going. So I've just got the two pistons and the rotor, but if you've got more than that, you probably want to do it as you go in, just so you don't get too confused. And then on here, on the button panel, if you go into the control panel, set up actions, you can set up 4 different actions which will correspond to these different buttons. You've got different button panels which have different numbers of actions that they can have. This is the vanilla one, and it's got 4 different buttons. So I'm going to right click the drill, we want on off, so we can turn the drill on and off. The horizontal piston, we want to toggle it on and off. Toggle that piston on and off, and then toggle the vertical one on and off. And then what we're going to do is go into the piston, we're going to turn the block off, and then we're going to set the velocity to 0.1 meters per second, and then we're going to do the same for this one, so 0.1. Turn it off first. 0.1 meters per second. And then if we turn the vertical drill, vertical piston on now, sorry, you can see it'll start to push down. I'm just going to push it down until the drill touches the ice. So about there. And then if we fire up this drill now, we'll start collecting some ice. And then that's going to go into the large cargo container. As you can see, we're already scooping up a hell of a lot of ice. So I'll just turn the drill off for now. And then we want to configure the rotor so it swings either way. It depends, how far you want to swing. 90 degrees is normally enough, but I'm probably going to do 100 just so it just comes back a little bit further on either side. So we want to set up limits on the rotor. So I'm going to turn the rotor block off while we do this. We're going to set the velocity to 0.1 as well. And then upper limit and lower limit is basically how far it can go either side based on the angle. So it's currently at 0 degrees. So we want the upper limit to be, not 10, 100 degrees, and then the lower limit to be minus 100 degrees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to quickly get a couple of event controllers. We're not got interior plates. I thought I had some. Oh, right, okay. Whew. We're going to get some event controllers. And I'm going to pop them just under here. And we're going to use these event controllers to bounce the rotor back and forth. So as I said, you can do this manually. But because I'm so far away from the base, I want this to be done automatically. So I want the rotor arm to be constantly swinging back and forth. So event controller, what we're going to do is go down to here. We're going to go to event angle changed. We're going to add the advanced rotor, and then angle threshold will go to equal or greater than 99 degrees. Select action. Right click on the rotor, and then we're going to click reverse. So basically when this event controller detects that the angle has exceeded 99 degrees, it will reverse the rotor. And if we go into this one, we're going to go to angle changed, advanced rotor, angle threshold is minus 99 degrees. So when the rotor, when the event controller detects it's gone below 99 degrees, negative 99 degrees, it's going to again reverse the rotor. So you see where I'm going with this here. We head back up top, and if we turn this rotor on, don't think I added it to here, did I? On off. It's going to be incredibly slow, so just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit for us. So you come to this end, and then it'll do a little bounce. And it's going to go back the other direction. So this will keep the rotor arm swinging and harvesting as much ice as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is turn the speed down once it flips. I made a mistake. It needs to be equal to or less than for that one. And then I'm just going to quickly reverse this. There we go. And you can see it's bounced back. And if we turn the drill on, we're going to start harvesting ice. Now you can see the whole thing is shaking a little bit. You can actually fix this if you select all of the rotors and pistons, you group them together, hold down control, click share inertia tensor. It will lock it up. And this is going to quite happily sit here and start mining a load of ice for us. So we've got already a pretty decent amount of ice, and we've barely touched the surface of this. And then of course, once you've done your rows here, you can drop this piston down further, push the drill down further, and then continue to swing it back and forth. You could probably automate that as well. I'm not going to, because the amount of ice we're harvesting compared to how much I'm going to be using at the moment doesn't really warrant me doing much more than this for now, in terms of automations. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you the event controller trick because it can be quite handy. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe to support the channel. And as always, take care, everybody.